Welcome. Today we are going to be looking at text manipulation. Text manipulation in Excel is one of the powerful features of Excel. We know what is a text. A text is like my name, Ganesh, is a text. Chicago is a text. These are texts, these are strings, they're also pretty much words, whatever you want to call that. So one of the things about Excel is you can take names or you can take these texts and then you can parse it. Parse it in the sense you can separate things out and you can put them back together to like join it also. So what we are going to look at today is how we can take the name like Axel Foley, and then from the full name we can get the first name or the last name, and then we can put them together like a full name again from the first and last name. And that's what we want to do today. So if you look at these names here, all these names that you have, and in column B, you can see one thing. All of them are names of characters in movies. That is very true. Apart from that, there is also something that is there in that name. That something is that between the first name and the last name, there is a space character. A character which is actually a space. So between Axel and Foley, there is a space. So Axel is the first name, Foley is the last name, and there is a space in between. The same thing happens at Bilbo Baggins or Darth Vader or Forrest Gump, so on and so forth. So what we are going to do is to take advantage of this space character between the first name and the last name, and then parse or separate out the first name and the last name. We're going to use two different functions for that. One function basically is called the find function. Find function. And we are going to use another function which is called the left function. So we're going to use two different functions. And actually, we're going to use one function with these two different functions inside. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. So let's look at these two functions and then we can put them together. So find basically is a function to find a particular character inside a text string. For instance, if you want to find where F is in Axel Foley, which is basically the sixth character in Axel Foley, right? So Axel is 4, space is 5, and F is 6. So if you want to find where F is in Axel Foley, you can find using this find function. So we're going to use this find function to do the space. So the find function to do the space is going to be, I'm going to put the space first. And I'm going to put that space, this is a space character, which is hit the space button on your computer, and that is the space button here. Okay, but since it is a text, we need to put that in quotes. So you have open quotes, space, open quotes, or close quotes. And then you can put a comma. And then the text that we want to find, in this case, Axel Foley is B2. So you're going to refer B2, and that is your find function. So in B2, where is this space is what you're asking with this function. Okay, and the answer will be 5. So it is a fifth function. And what you want to do is to get all the characters to the left of this fifth space. The fifth character is a space, and then left of that there are 4 characters, right? So actually you want 5 minus 1. So you want 4 characters to the left, and that is what you want, so that you can get Axel, which is going to be the first name. So the final, what you need to do right here, what you need to type right here will be equal to left of B2. So in B2, to the left, I want to get 4 characters. So the 4 characters is going to be, but I cannot type 4. Then for Bilbo Baggins, there will be a problem, right? So I want to do it only once and then copy and paste everything else. That's what I want to do because that's more efficient. So you write the formula only once. So B2, comma, and then I'm going to put the find function, which is going to be find, which is going to be the quotes and a space, quote, comma, B2. And then I'm going to close for the find function. I'm going to close that. I'm going to take 1 out of that find function because I want 4 characters, right? Only the 4 characters to the left. For Bilbo Baggins, it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th character is a space. So I want 5 characters to the left. So anyways, we have to minus 1, right? That's what I'm doing here. So minus 1, and I'm going to close this open bracket right here. And that is what we want to do. So I'm going to type that here, equal to left of B2, comma, find, open quotes, space, open quotes, comma, B2. I'm going to close the parenthesis. I'm going to take off 1 character because I don't want the space character. That's why I'm taking off 1 character. And I'm going to close the bracket or close the parenthesis. And that gives me Axel. So basically, if I copy and paste everything, I'm going to get just the first name. Okay, just the first name. And I'm going to delete. Okay, I need to do the last name. So for that, I'm going to use a different function. Let me delete this so we can write the whole thing again. So for the right function, I'm going to use find as well. So that's why I'm leaving it like this. Okay. For the right function, I'm going to do right. And right of what? Right of B2, which is the whole Axel Foley. In B2, which is Axel Foley, I want to find the characters right of the space. That gives me Foley. In Bilbo Baggins, I want to find the characters or the number of characters to the right of the space so that I can get Baggins. And that's what we're trying to find. The problem would be that to tell the computer how to do it. So to do that, I have to use another function which is called length. So I want to find the length of Axel Foley. The length of Axel Foley is what? How many characters? I have 4 characters for Axel, 1 space, that becomes 5 characters, and then 5 characters for Foley, that is 10 characters. So I want to find the length, which is called the len of B2. So len of B2 gives me the length of Axel Foley, which is 10 characters. Okay, so lbn B2, and I want to take off the space. How many characters there? Where is that space character? I want to know that. So if I take the length and then take off the space, that gives me basically all the characters to the right. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use find space, comma, B2, and then I'm going to close this. Okay, now I have one more small problem that I need to fix. So this length minus find is a separate thing, so I'm going to include that as well. And then this, I need to include that as well as another closing parameter. So what I'm going to type here will be is equal to right of B2, okay, comma, and I'm going to start this length minus find here. So len of B2 minus find, the same thing that we did before, quote, space, quote, comma, B2, and then I have 1, 2, 3, and that gives me Foley. And if I copy and paste, I got this whole thing. Okay, so that's how you do the text manipulation of parsing, so that you can find anything to the left or right of these names, and that gives you pretty much the left and right functions. Now to get the full name, I'm going to concatenate these two. That means I'm going to do equal to CONCATENATE, concatenate, the D2, which is the first name, comma, and I'm going to put the space there, quote, space, quote, comma, and then I'm going to put the E2 here, and then I'll close the parenthesis, and that gives me Axel Foley. And if I copy and paste, I get all the names. So this is how you do text manipulation of joining names, parsing names. You can do with words, you can do anything that you want to. And if you have a long sentence, you can find where exactly the spaces are and then parse the words also from there. You can use Excel to do that. Okay, you can pretty much do a lot of text manipulations, use this, and there are a lot of functions other than first and the left and the right and the concatenate. There are a lot of other functions as well. Okay, now I also want to do, I have IDs here. I have 0015, and I want to find the name and phone of the people in this data. So 0015 basically is Luke Skywalker's telephone number and name. 0008 is Harry Potter's name and phone number. And 0010 is Jack Sparrow's name and the phone number. I want to find that. So to do that, I'm going to use a VLOOKUP. And in the VLOOKUP, I'm going to use what is an exact match. In the last video, we saw one with not an exact match, but in this, we're going to use what is an exact match. The reason why it is an exact match is 0015 here should be the same as 0015 here. It cannot be 0015 space here because there is no space after 0015 here. It cannot be 0015 space or 00 space 15, nothing like that. It has to be exactly the same, and that's why we're going to use an exact match for the VLOOKUP. So let's do the VLOOKUP now. So to do that, first of all, I'm going to click on ID, and I'm going to hold the shift button and move using my arrows to the right and then to the left